But if there's an American hell or somebody else being held, there should be every expectation that Americans come and kill them as well.
I would encourage the other side to not so lightly throw around the idea of innocent Palestinian civilians, as is frequently said. I don't think we would so lightly throw around the term innocent Nazi civilians.
You haven't seen the pictures of all the babies being killed?
These are not innocent Palestinian civilians across the world. When you're looking at
people starving to death,
the 500,000 people starving to death are people that should go out there and put a government in place that doesn't go out there and attack Israel on a daily basis.
Well, that was Republican Congressman Brian Mast, who you just watched in that compilation, and he has now issued a pretty disturbing memo to staffers of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, which he chairs. The memo states that Republican staffers must refer to the West Bank as Judea and Samaria, AKA the Hebrew name for the territory. Now, of course, it is the internationally recognized territory of the Palestinians that they're currently being driven out of by Israeli settlers and the IDF. But here are some excerpts from the memo that Mast sent to staffers. He says, in recognition of our unbreakable bond with Israel and the inherent right of the Jewish people to their ancient homeland, the House Foreign Affairs Committee will, from here forward, referred to the West Bank as Judea and Samaria in formal correspondence, communication, and documentation. He also wrote that Jewish roots in this region span centuries, and as representatives of the American people, we must do our part to stem this reprehensible tide of anti-Semitism and recognize Israel's rightful claim to the cradle of Jewish civilization. It is worth noting that Mast once volunteered with the Israeli Defense Forces, and in 2023 he also showed up to Congress wearing the IDF's military garb or uniform. And based on open secrets and FEC filings, Mast has taken a ton of money from AIPAC.
Of course.
$679,370.
The only reason it's not in the millions is because they didn't need to buy him that much. I mean, this fool went and chose to sign up for the IDF when he's not even an Israeli citizen, he's not anything. And so, trenchant question we're asking in the live chat on YouTube is Brian Mast a genocidal maniac?
Yes.
And yeah, I vote a very, very strong yes. I mean, you saw those clips. Palestinian babies aren't babies, they're Nazi civilians. What is that? What is that? He loves murdering Palestinians. He loves funding the murder of Palestinians. He loves justifying it and calling it Judea and Samaria. Look, I know religious lunatics call it that. And the reason they call it that is because they want Israel to slaughter all the Palestinians and steal that land. And that's called from the river to the sea. And I know when a Palestinian says from the river to the sea, they should be banned, arrested, canceled. They should never be allowed to say anything ever again. But when Netanyahu said it and Brian Mast says it, now they're trying to make it official government policy. So now this committee, the morons on this committee, I guess they're gonna follow orders from the IDF soldier, literally, Brian Mast, a literal IDF soldier, and so much so that he's wearing it to Congress, the uniform to Congress. Understand, make Israel great again. I mean, America, right? Israel first, and he's saying now you must use the language of our occupiers. I mean, of the Palestinian occupiers, I mean Palestinian liberators, we liberated them from their lives. And so now you all have to say Judea and Samaria. I don't know if they also have to chant from the river to the sea. Israel shall take all of your goddamn land and murder you all and your babies. By the way, 800 babies killed so far at a bare minimum. That is between the ages of 0 and 1, bare minimum, 800 babies. Were they also terrorists? If you listen to a genocidal maniac like Brian Mast,
yep.
Yeah, they are, right? So this is what's happening. Pro-life, where are you? Let me see you, okay? And by the way, some of the right wing are beginning to say, and this is brand new. Before they'd say, look, some that were disgruntled would say, why are we spending all this money on Israel? Like, why don't we bring that money back home? We canceled every piece of foreign aid except to Israel and their ally Egypt. So why don't we bring that home? Now, for the first time, I'm starting to see MAGA going, plus, why are we killing all those people? And that's like a new thought that has occurred to folks. And they're beginning to think like, wait, is it the moral thing? October 7th of which year? That was now like several years ago, and they're still slaughtering the children. And which part of this is conservative or family values or America first? Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.